All right, and we are live. What is going on? What's going on? I'll turn that fan down a little bit. How y'all living? Listen, we're going to use this channel, and it's good to see this channel is out of the doghouse. It looks like I am not shadow banned over here. So I have two channels that are not shadow banned and two channels that are, but we're going to work with what we have. Listen, y'all, I got a couple bangers for us, a couple of different videos I want us to entertain here. We're going to start off with a nice spiritual video, get the mood set, get y'all in the right state of mind while you're watching these other videos. And then we'll go into some reaction videos of modern dating, and we'll speak about it in not just a 3D, but from a spiritual perspective as well. Okay? Without no further ado, let's do this. You guys smash that like button, share the live, and drop a comment.
But here's the irony. They're more aware of you than you might think. They're you who pretend you don't exist, as if you're invisible to them. They avoid eye contact, keep their distance, and do their best to blend into the background. But here's the irony. They're more
Smash
aware
that
of
like
you
button.
than you might think. They're watching your every move, from the way you dress to the way you carry yourself, even down to the way you take your photos. In secret, they're trying to emulate you, all while pretending they're not paying attention. Now, have you ever stopped to wonder what becomes of these people after their lives intersect with yours? They might give off the impression that they've moved on, that they've found something better or more fulfilling. But the reality is often quite different. Many of them find themselves stuck in the same place, unable to make real progress. They put on a front, acting like they've made some big leap forward, but deep down, they're fully aware that they haven't truly moved ahead. They're just pretending, trying to convince themselves and everyone else that they've leveled up, when in reality, they know they're still treading water. Ever wonder why some folks show up in your life, stir things up a bit, and then disappear? It's actually pretty simple. They're drawn to what you have. Maybe they're after a little taste of your happiness, or they just want the bragging rights to say they knew someone like you. Your vibe.
Look, we're using this video in context of speaking of fake friends and people that try to get close to you just to steal from you, your essence. Let's go.
Pulls them in. But when they get close, they realize they can't keep up with your energy, and that's when they start to back off. You see, you're the type of person who naturally stands out, even when others act like they don't see you. They might sneak a peek at you and then quickly look away, but you notice it every time. It's kind of funny because they try so hard to pretend they're not interested, but you can sense it. The truth is, you inspire them more than they'd ever admit. Your presence is strong, and it makes them uncomfortable because they can't handle what you bring to the table. So when people drift out of your life, don't sweat it too much. They didn't move on to something better. They just couldn't keep up with what you've got. You bring something unique that they can't replace, and deep down, they know that. It's not about you losing them. It's about them realizing they couldn't keep pace with your level. People don't just come into your life out of nowhere. They often have a reason.
A lot of times you're really healing people around you. And once the healing is done, they move on. Um, Listen, we're all here for a season. You know what I mean? Think about it. You're here and then you're gone. So, you know what I mean? They're not always meant to be here for all the seasons that you have. Some people are just meant to be here for a season or two and then they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They're not meant to excel like you are. And once you understand this, you have no problem with people moving on, leaving you, or you just don't want to be played with. You don't want your time wasted. That's the most important thing. Like, look, do what you got to do, but don't waste my time. You know what I mean? You got to smash that like button. Let's go.
And it's not always just to be friends. They're curious about how you live, how you make your money, and how you manage your business. They want to know if everything you've got is real or if it's just a facade. Maybe they're even questioning if that home you're so proud of is really yours or just something you're renting. But here's the thing. Whether you own it outright or not, it's still your space, your sanctuary, and that's what really matters.
And remember, a lot of times these little videos, you know what I mean? They understand what people think because they're thinking the same thing, you know. And here's the thing about people and whatever they wonder and they care about, it doesn't matter. You never know why people are interested in you. And it's really none of your business. Um, what people are trying to figure out about you and, what drives them to keep watching you or paying you attention or whatever, it's none of your business. Only when they try to work their way into a friendship or partnership or some type of working, then it's like, okay, it's kind of weird. You've been kind of like looking into me for a while. So what's the point you trying to get close? So, don't even trip about anybody doing this stuff from a distance, mimicking, mocking, they're all going to do it because, like this video is highlighting, you have a lot more people watching you and paying you attention than you think. And you have to watch how they're interacting with you for you to know who's watching you. And it'll be anybody that has some form of malice towards you or whatever you're doing. These are people that are watching you too much and are projecting onto you by putting you on this pedestal that they probably don't even qualify for, right? Putting you on this throne so they can just constantly have something to say about you, right? So again, it's happening, nothing you can do, but as long as you have awareness, you know what I mean? It's about that awareness and discernment. Let's go.
And let's be honest, your place might even be nicer than theirs, which probably stirs up even more curiosity. There's something about you that naturally pulls people in. Maybe it's the way you dress, the confidence in your walk, or just the overall vibe you give off. They might
Smash that
play it
like button.
cool, cracking jokes about why you do things the way you do, but don't let that fool you. They're observing you closely, trying to understand what makes you tick, what gives you that edge. You'll start to notice a
Absolutely.
pattern. After they poke fun at your choices, they slowly begin to adopt them.
Pay attention.
One day, they're laughing at your peacoat, and not
He's
long
dropping
after,
gems.
they're wearing one just like it. They might give you a hard time for always dressing sharp, but before you know it, they're trying to replicate that same style.
Facts.
This is just how people operate. They're drawn to what they admire, even if they won't admit it
They think they're
outright.
slick.
What's really happening is that they see something in you that they wish they had, so they try to mimic it. They might not say it, but deep down, they're hoping some of your success, your style, or your confidence will rub off on them. And while they might never give you the credit, you'll see the signs in the little ways they start to change after spending time around you. Even those close to you, family or friends, might act indifferent, but they're watching closely, especially when you're doing well. If you're confident and successful, people will notice, even if they don't say it. They're curious about what makes you stand out and might even try to imitate what they see in you. You're doing everything right, and it shows. People are quietly observing, trying to take bits and pieces of
They're
who
never
you
going to
are.
tell you. Hang
They're
on.
lost, searching for direction.
They're never going to tell you about this either. They're never going to admit to it. They're never going to tell you that they're getting inspiration from you. They're never going to tell you that they're watching you because they don't want you to know how great you are. As if it's going to matter. They think that their opinion is going to matter to you either way. So if they tell you you're great, they think that their opinion is so great, it's going to give you a big head. Their opinion don't mean anything. It's not going to give you a big head, or, if they don't like you, it's not going to take away from what you have going on either. But people want to be so important. They want to be important in your life, their life, that they want to be able to project whatever they want to project onto you and you just be like, yeah, no, you're nothing in my reality. I don't really care. I don't really care. But this is how people operate. Let's go.
And they think copying you might help them find it. They try to mimic your style, hoping that by doing what you do, they'll achieve the same success. But what works for you won't necessarily work for them. Even though they act like they don't see you, they're constantly learning from you. They admire what you do, but they'll never admit it. Instead, they secretly try to apply your methods, hoping for the same results. Some people in your life might start acting distant or even disappear for a while. This happens because they're trying to figure out how to be more like you. They watch you from a distance, hoping to take what you have and make it their own. But deep down, they know they can't truly be you. There's a person who tries to connect with others behind your back because they want what you have. They envy your success, your confidence, and if they could, they'd take it all for themselves. That's why
Absolutely.
they keep their distance, studying how you do things. But they won't
Absolutely.
ask you directly because they don't want to admit they're trying to be like.
If they ask you directly, then they can't claim that whatever they've taken from you is something that's original to them. Now think about that. You know, if they ask you directly, then they can't take the information they've stolen from you and apply it to their life and say that they came up with it themselves. Their ego is that crazy right now. These same people wonder why God won't bless them with any kind of knowledge or whatever, you know. But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
You. They don't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing they see something special in you. Even though they recognize that you're better at certain things, they'll never tell you. You won't hear them say, "You really know what you're doing." Instead, they hold on to their pride, refusing to seek help. But pride often leads to a downfall, and theirs will be no different. Some people are too wrapped up in themselves to admit they admire your style or the way.
And something else here. These same people will talk like this. It won't be the people doing it to you, but people that think this way. They'll say stuff like, why are you expecting anybody to, they're not going to tell you nothing. They're not going to tell you, they appreciate you. Listen, idiot, I know that, man. Keep up with me, man. I know that. Stop stating the obvious. That's how slow you are. No, I'm talking about the fact, the spirit on them. Okay? It's about identifying spirits on people. We don't need for them, like, stop making it just so base level. Like, well, just don't expect for them to. I get it, dummy. This is going above your head. You want me to shut up, right? It's making your head hurt. But what I'm saying is, we're identifying the spirit on these people that makes them want to act in this way. And once we can identify this type of spirit of someone is getting things from you, but acts like they don't want to see you. So then whenever you watch them and they're doing different things that you would have never even suspected them of being this kind of wicked, you still know they're wicked. So you can study that, like, well, this person comes off like a normal, they're wearing masks. And then you can study the mask they're wearing because you know that they're really a weirdo to take credit from somebody else's intellectual property or whatever it is, right? But anyway, let's go.
You carry yourself. Instead of giving you credit, they might try to bring you down. They'll create drama, say things to make you doubt yourself, all because they're frustrated by their admiration for you. They want to pull you down to their level. If that doesn't work, they'll go back to watching you from afar, still trying to steal your ideas and methods. They'll keep an eye on you, hoping to see you stumble. But they never stop trying to uncover your secrets. No matter what you do, they'll always find something to criticize. They'll nitpick, make fun of your choices, and pretend to be unimpressed. But deep down, they're just covering up their envy because they wish they could do what you do. They'll come around when you do something significant, pretending to be your biggest fan, but it's all because they want a piece of your success. They won't mention your achievements or congratulate you, but they'll reach out, trying to benefit from what you've accomplished. They'll even try to connect with the people you know, thinking it will work out for them just like it did for you. But remember, their admiration is real, even if they never admit it. They're quietly taking notes, hoping to replicate your success, but they'll never be able to do it the way you do. Here's how it usually goes. They sit back quietly, watching you from the shadows, trying to figure out your every move. They're not doing it out of admiration. They want to use what you know to get ahead of you. They're desperate to surpass you, but no matter how hard they try, it just doesn't work out for them. In life, there are always those who will envy what you have achieved. Instead of finding their own path, they decide their best shot at success is by mimicking your lifestyle, adopting your methods, and even trying to step into your relationships. They genuinely believe that by mirroring your actions, they can somehow tap into the same success you've earned. They think that if they can just grab what belongs to you, it will magically propel them to the same heights you've reached. But here's the reality.
You
No
guys
matter
smash
how
that like
hard they
button.
try, they will never truly succeed by copying you. They can imitate every move you make, but they will never be able to capture the unique qualities that define you. The core of who you are, the essence that drives your success, is something they can never replicate. Now, as we step into 2024, some of you know deep down that you're equipped with everything it takes to make it to the top. You have the smarts, the charm, and the magnetic personality needed to create something extraordinary,
Salute to
whether
the
it's a
tribe.
thriving
That's all
YouTube
y'all.
channel or another ambitious project. The moment you start sharing your journey, you'll quickly notice something. Critics and naysayers will start emerging from every corner, trying to pull you down. But don't let them distract you. The truth is, they're only watching so closely because they recognize your potential. They'll try to copy your style, they'll pick apart your work, but the one thing they can't do is become you.
There it
So
is.
don't waste a second worrying about those who pretend not to notice your efforts.
Message.
The fact is, they're paying more attention than you think, trying to figure out how to replicate your success. Keep pushing forward, continue being yourself, and let them struggle to keep up. You're on the right path, and nothing can stop you now. Before you go, if you found value in this video, make sure.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's a great message. You know, listen, the more they try to act like they don't see you, the more you know that they do. Right? The more they act like they don't see you, the more you know that they do. That is a fact. When you're making good work and you notice others, you know what I mean, might not be as great, it's just something about you triggers people. They don't want to see you in particular make it. They just don't want to see it. You know what I mean? It's just something about you so triggering that even though they're mimicking, copying, they just don't want to see you. Okay? So keep that in mind, but let's go ahead and get up in this.
On your menu at all, like not on your menu at all, like disgusting.
Here we have a top-tier battle-hardened 304, a Magnum Cum Laude alumni from the esteemed Brothel University. Okay, think about that for a second. Magnum Cum Laude.
He's dropping bars, man.
Here in a Skype lecture to her future Eagle spreaders, she explains the ethical issue of catching feelings for one of her potential clients. In other words, leaving the Magnum on the bedstand because she has a crush on her client, otherwise known as a trick.
Like, stop doing that. That's just nasty. You need to protect yourself, and if you're a part of a stable, you need to protect the stable too. What the? They're out here disgusting.
Notice how we don't see the telltale warning signs of a sexy red 304. No $50 lace front wig. Notice she has an actual forehead and a natural hairline. Now, I'm sure many men under 25 may not know this, but black women actually do have foreheads and natural hairlines.
You ain't lying.
This has been scientifically proven. No septum ring visible. Maybe a little bit too much makeup, and the eyelashes are borderline. But some unsuspecting man could misidentify her as a good pick. And this is why every potential female can be considered a 304 until proven otherwise.
Main question I hate is when people come up to SWs and they're like, what's your end goal? What are you gonna do when you're old? Like, what are you gonna do when you're old? Retire, because you had a retirement plan.
Translation. The main question I hate is when people ask me, how much bodies does it cost to build a nest egg? How many old truckers and car dates does it take to build up enough money to live off the dividends? Does your 304 nest egg also include money for the hours of therapy and antidepressant drugs for you and any children you may have in the future to cope with the embarrassment?
And another thing, don't never come and tell me and ask me what my end goal is. What's yours? You work at Burger King. And I never
You guys make sure you subscribe.
When I was 19, you asking me for the fries in the bag. Because there's never nobody with a degree saying no shit like that. It's never somebody who owns their own house or houses or car or multiple cars. Y'all be still paying off y'all cars. And you worry about what I'm doing in the next 5 years?
Nobody ever asked her anything.
Why are you worrying about what I am doing when I clearly don't care about myself?
Like, why do y'all do that? And it's only to us. It's only to us. When's the last time you went to your plug, picked up your shit, and was like, hey, bro, you finna keep doing this forever? You finna keep...
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This one right here, man.
I would love to ask my plug that question. Unfortunately, he died on the job. Fatality. I'm sure you don't have to worry about that, because going into cars and hotel rooms with random men is obviously a safe job. I mean, it's not like any young, beautiful woman ever got hurt doing that.
What she finna be doing in the next 5 years, because she's 47 and still has that same entry-level best job.
Oh, but what be killing me is how the girlies be trying to talk about the 304s because they put a price on it and a time limit. After you get it, you gotta go. And no, you can't get nothing to drink. And no, you can't have this, or that. See, y'all like to make these men feel comfortable. Y'all like to, oh, I got a meal for you and I got this and I got that. Also, Destiny Child cater to you. Girl, you don't want all of that.
Wow, look at her all riled up like a Michael Vick pit bull at a prize dog fight. I mean, how can you deny your attraction for such untamed masculinity? Imagine a home with her being like a never-ending episode of the HBO drama Oz, where you have to fight and compete for the right to exist. Yes, fight with your masculine 304 wife to be the alpha dog of the house.
Absolutely not.
Oh, what a sad life.
Absolutely not.
He's trying to get in and get out and try to do it as smooth as possible. And you keep offering him all of these things, building the guilt up. So when he hits you with that ghosting move, he gonna feel a little bad because you did all of that. But say, that 304 ain't gonna feel none of that because she got money in her wallet. Yeah. You gotta pay to play. And if you can't, get out my way. I always love a real 304. A real bad getter that's gonna walk through the raindrops? I love him. Ain't got nothing but respect for him.
You know, it seems like even when they are paid top dollar, the hood rat, aka Project Teletubby, prides herself on giving you the worst customer service available. Just remember, a woman with an abrasive attitude also has an abrasive tenderloin, something you could scrub your bathtub with. Now, if that's your favor, then have at it.
It's my mom. We back at it again. I'm about to be showing you some, you feel me, you should know as a 304, you feel me? Just you should already know. It's basic 304 101, okay? So first things first, everybody should know you always have to have your on. You feel me? You always have to have your condoms on you, because if you don't, better safe than sorry. But if you don't, you feel me? That's on, shame on you. That's all on you. If you know, you're gonna need some wipes or a hand rag, to clean your pub. and to clean all the bacteria and stuff off your. Another thing you also gonna need is your toothbrush. You can't be having yuck mouth. You feel me? Going from trick to trick, like no.
And see,
you
they
can't
over
be doing
here
it.
putting this out on the
Don't
internet,
forget the
man.
lubrication, because
Like, look at this,
them
man.
condoms be dry as sometimes. You're gonna need
Just
some of
putting it
this.
out on the regular internet.
And your protection. Don't play with it.
It's imperative that we all pay close attention because society says these are your future wives. And if for some reason you don't agree with their lifestyle, you're obviously on the DL, misogynistic,
Misogyny.
Big time.
or just plain sassy.
Yeah.
So this one time I was working in Oakland. I was out on the street. I was on the Blade. If you don't know what the Blade is, it's where girls go, stand on the street, and work as. So yeah, I was outside working, and this guy pulled up on me, and he told me he had $150 for a car date. If you don't know what a car date is, it means a quick interaction that may or may not include in the car. So he pulls up a couple of blocks and we park. It's like 2 a.m. It's nobody outside. It's very dark. But he parked next to a curb that was real high. So if I tried to open the door, it wasn't going to open. Well, it wasn't going to open out all the way at least, right? So I tell him to move up a little bit, and he does. And I don't even check the door again. I just figure, oh, he moved up, so it's probably going to open, right? That was dumb. I should have never not checked again. He hands me the money, and I put it away, and I'm making small talk, but I'm still watching him, out the corner of my eye. And by the time I put the money away, he literally has pulled a butcher knife from his side of the car on the side of the seat and pulled it out. And
a few moments later,
I was able to squeeze so tight outside of his car that I got scraped on both sides of my hips to where I was bleeding because I moved so fast.
Tune in again next week.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button.
Man, it's crazy, man. They're out here in these streets, man. They're in these streets, y'all. On to the next one.
Yo, I changed my mind. I don't want to be independent anymore. I don't want to do this.
So I'm about to get railed by 2 guys, which is something I do quite often, if I'm honest with myself.
I think this whole independent woman is a scam.
Truth is, I don't want to be strong no more.
Does anyone else feel silly?
Behind every strong, independent woman is a cat just waiting to be fed.
We never forget to mention how awful men treat women nowadays.
So never have I claimed to be a strong, independent woman, nor will I ever. I want a man.
PSA, I am only dating Hawkeyes. This is the Hawkeye era.
What makes you think you qualify
Hot guy
to
era.
come into
All right,
the man's
I like that.
world anyway?
I'm gonna start using that
Kindly
term.
subscribe to the channel, as
Hey,
it
you guys
is our
make sure you
sole form of
subscribe.
support.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Stop falling for the I went through a 304 phase. There's no such thing. That is who she is.
Yeah,
Even
once
if
she
it's
is
deep
that,
down,
that's what she
that
is.
who she is.
Ladies, the strong black woman narrative is a scam. Wake up! I had a good run. I did everything the society told me to do. I worked really hard. I damn near broke my back. I paid all my bills. I put everybody else first. I told men I was independent. I did it, and I did it to say that I won nothing from it. I literally did not win any special awards. My life has not changed drastically. So now I'm going to reclaim my time, okay? When you see me now, know that I'm a soft babe.
Too late. We getting our passport. Our mind are on women in other countries. I got $1 and some envelopes. Best I can do. Stay strong, my beautiful independent women. Y'all got it. Men are tired. Welcome to the club and the world of adulthood. Yeah, I'm sure it was a good run, but the men out here are good also. They have their own value and don't want to be weighed down by the emotional baggage you've collected over the years while claiming to be a strong, independent woman. This sudden cry for help only seems to surface when these women need their bills paid. And let's be real, no man is falling for that anymore. You've made your choices, lady, and now you're facing the consequences. As the saying goes, It's far easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. Men are waking up, seeing through the act, and refusing to play the role of a savior. They know their worth and aren't interested in being the backup plan after you've exhausted your options.
I just left the hair salon to make a payment on my 24-inch hair extensions that I'm getting installed April 20th. And if you know, then you know. Because God damn! Now I'm feeling like a hustler looking for some beans. Anybody want to buy some pics? Anybody want to buy some pics? Going once, going twice. Anybody need some pics?
Stop! Would you say whole faces are necessary for girls?
Absolutely.
Why?
Everybody goes through at least one during college.
They're fun sometimes.
Yeah, they can be friends sometimes.
Only for some people, though. It depends on the person.
You're trying to find yourself.
There are men out there that will literally treat you so good. So good. Like, everything and anything that you want, that you need, you will get. But a lot of you are still choosing men who don't do shit for you. And I just, like, don't really understand, because when a man can do so much for you, I believe it's just the best feeling in the world, like, to be treated so well by a man and to be taken care of by a man. But yet you're over here settling for bum-ass dudes.
In their eyes, treating you well just means spending money. Women today don't appreciate the nice gestures or the guy who's genuinely trying. They see those men as second options because kindness and generosity are often mistaken for weakness. They overlook the guys who show real care, thinking that only flashy gestures matter. Unfortunately, by the time they realize the value of a good man, it's too late. Those men have moved on, tired of being treated as backup plans or having their kindness taken for granted. But she is correct. There are men out there who will treat these women correctly, but those men are overlooked.
I am so tired of being a strong, independent Black woman. Can somebody's son please come free me?
If a woman is beautiful, is smart, and is successful, does this make her less attractive? And I only ask this because I've noticed there is like an overwhelming amount of beautiful and smart and successful women who are also by themselves. So I'm just asking my TikTok guys and girls for your perspective. Like, is there a reason why successful, beautiful women are by themselves?
Character is the most important thing in a relationship, my sister. Money and beauty doesn't help.
Yeah,
Man
we don't care.
needs respect. Money and accomplishments
We don't care
doesn't
about all
make
that
her
stuff.
good. It's the same
Why
as
don't y'all
someone
date each
going
other?
to church, but can be bad in nature.
Look, we're just, being respectful, because I gotta combine all my channels together since I'm shadow banned on 2 of them. Respectfully, your resume means nothing to us. And since y'all think that these women are so qualified, why don't y'all date them? When does it become like a Black woman's job or any woman's job to tell a man who's qualified for him and how he should go about pursuing said women? Y'all are all out of pocket. All of y'all. All out of pocket. And we're not even saying nothing back to y'all anymore. It's just like, let you babble. Who cares? Keep yapping.
There can be other reasons they're single. Just because they're
Yeah, smash that
beautiful and
like button.
successful doesn't mean they're a good partner. Men don't
Exactly.
care about your success, your beauty. Beauty fades. Money has no value. But the character, submission, respect. Men, we are looking for that.
What is the pettiest reason why you've cut off a potential love interest? I'll go first. I once cut off a guy because he told me that he wanted to wait until payday to take me out on a date.
Are you stupid?
Would you have to pay your rent even if you didn't move that woman in?
The rules of adulting say yes.
Would you have to pay your electric? Would you have to pay your water? Would you have to pay for food if you didn't move that woman into your house?
Again, it's called being an adult. So yes.
Yes? Yes, you would? Okay, then great. Stop complaining. It's not like by having her live there, she is now indebted to you and to be your house servant.
I'm curious. Who exactly thinks this way?
She should absolutely be expected to clean up after herself. But the fact that you men think that because you invite a woman to come live with you, that now she is your domestic servant, that is crazy to me.
And what is crazy to me is that there are a lot of individuals out there that
Women,
seem to
man.
think that a lot of men think like this. But seriously, though, if a person decides to move another individual into their house, that person would be responsible for 50% of the bills and 50% of the housework because they live there.
Excuse me.
It's called being an adult. It's really not that complicated.
If that woman moves in, then the bills increases because now there's 2 people living in that house, besides rent, of course. This is just the typical entitlement mindset that comes along with some of these women. What she's suggesting is that she freeloads off the man and just cooks for herself and
Exactly.
take care of her needs while being
They
in
don't want to
his
do
house.
nothing, man.
How crazy does that sound?
Modern day America.
I have a question. Why would being an independent woman be attractive to a man?
Preach, queen.
I understand a man would want his woman to be able to have her own and be able to work for herself, provide for herself, this and that, because that's a good quality to have, right? But once y'all get into a relationship,
4 p.m. I gotta work
why
out.
is that still a thing? Shouldn't you be a dependable man?
We never forget to mention how awful men treat women nowadays, but how about women treating men like shit? We never talk about how men are used, abused, and treated poorly. There's a percentage of women nowadays that are just the worst. Nowadays,
Preach,
you give a
queen.
woman a finger, she takes the entire hand. And before you decide on attacking me through these comments section, please just understand that I'm not talking about all women. Whatever you give her is never enough. And just like women, it's always the good men that get screwed over. 4 out of 5 women do not respect their man when he chooses to provide for her and care for her. 3 out of 5 women begin to lose respect for their man once he begins to do everything for her. Dear men, once you begin to feel your woman is losing interest, respect, or love towards you, that's when you start to back off. Dear men,
Absolutely.
once you begin to feel that you're doing too much for your woman, you probably are. Once you begin to feel your woman is being unappreciative, do less. The moment you begin to feel that
Sounds
your
good.
woman does not care is the moment she doesn't. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all human and we all make mistakes and we all say stupid things, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being disrespected once you respect your woman, about being treated poorly when you provide for your woman, about being treated like you are nothing when you treat your woman like she is everything to you. And it's so sad because these good men then turn either revengeful or don't put themselves out there anymore, even though there's good women that are caring, loving, loyal, and appreciative out there.
That is the absolute truth. For some men, no matter how much they give, it's never enough. They keep trying, keep giving, thinking that one day their efforts will be appreciated. But they often come to realize this too late. By the time they see the reality, the damage is done. The toll it takes on these good men is really severe. Emotionally drained, trust shattered, and their sense of self-worth eroded. They start to feel like they're not good enough, even though they've done everything right. It's heartbreaking because all they ever wanted was genuine connection and appreciation. They become wary, closed off, and hesitant to open up again. It's a cycle that leaves scars, not just on their hearts, but on their outlook on relationships and trust in general.
Does anyone else feel silly or embarrassed after they reach out for help and express their feelings? Because I did that, and I gave myself the ick. I don't like it.
You know what should be out in 2024? Emotionally unavailable men, especially when they don't disclose that. And the reason I'm saying that is because it affects the other person, especially when they don't disclose that. They lead you on a roller coaster ride you're nothing but respectful to them. You give them some of your time, like you answer their texts, all that kind of stuff, and they still continue to treat you like you're trash. Have some more self-respect for
Lord.
you,
Here
for
we go.
yourself. And don't let these guys get to you. If they're
Okay.
going to do something like that, then clearly they don't need to be talking to you because you're better than that and you respect yourself.
Okay.
It just blows my mind that you can do everything right, be so respectful to that person, and in return they'll treat you like trash and they won't answer your text when you tell them you really need them to
You got to
answer
do
it.
better at vetting.
See, I'm not the best at texting, but if someone were to say, please, like, I really need you to answer this, I wouldn't just ignore them, because that's downright disrespectful too, and makes the other person feel like they just don't matter to that person. And if
Wow, the
someone
shoe
treats you
fits.
this way, you need to drop them, because if they don't see how amazing you are, how selfless and respectful and friendly, and just you go out of the way for them, then yeah, they're the trash. You deserve better. We all deserve better. We don't deserve to be treated with disrespect and just like you're nothing.
Do you know what should be in 2024? Women taking accountability for their choices. And to be honest, what she's saying is ridiculous. No one has to disclose anything to you, madam. It's not a requirement. Maybe if she was paying attention to the person she was dating, she would have noticed the signs sooner. This victim mentality she's demonstrating is just her showing her lack of awareness. When you're getting in the stages of dating someone, it is your duty to study the person you are trying to be with and see if you want to continue further. It just sounds like she was stuck fantasizing being with that man so much and just happened to miss the important details.
This is a public service announcement, and it's the second time I'm saying this. I am not a strong, independent Black woman. I am a damsel in distress. I am a delicate flower.
No, you
I
are
am
not.
a soft, feminine, pretty little lady.
All right, well, do what you got to do, lady.
Reasons why people go through a whole phase. Tune in. Number one, they just got out of a relationship. Most people who got out of a relationship, especially a toxic relationship, want their freedom. They want a chance to be single, especially if they were in a long relationship that
You
lasted
see they're a
years.
prisoner. You listen
Now
to the
they
victim
want to enjoy
mentality.
themselves and go through
Ladies
all
and
those
gentlemen, we don't want
females,
to
all
be.
those men that they didn't have a chance to do while they
No,
were
no,
in the
no, no.
relationship.
Dudes don't
Number
go through a
two,
whole phase.
they
Stop
feel like
talking
they're
crazy.
missing out. In other words, they're never satisfied. They want to go from one person to the next to a next because they want to feel like they're the player, like they're the man or the woman, you know? They got to experiment. Number three, they're most likely in college. A lot of people go through their whole phase in college because,
No,
like I
it's
say, y'all are
blasphemy.
cooped up in the dorm room, all on the same hall, especially if it's a co-ed hall. Y'all know.
Or maybe just being a 304
Exactly.
is embedded in their DNA.
Exactly.
But a phase is something that's made up. It's just a way for women to get entertained by various options because it is impossible for some of them to settle for just one person. Those women are broken and severely damaged from their past toxic relationships. They usually say it's a way for them to discover themselves, but that's just an excuse they give so they can just sleep around.
That's what it is,
So
man.
I'm about to get
FOMO.
railed by two guys, which is something I do quite often, if I'm honest with myself.
Wow.
And while I'm waiting for them to get here, I was just thinking, I'm on pace to hit 365 bodies in 365 days. And last year, I was excited when I hit 300 in a year. But then this leaves me to think, what am I going to do next year? 500?
Spreading diseases.
600? I'm an ambitious woman. I need to make sure that I'm always striving for greatness. I need to be chasing bigger and better numbers and always surpassing my limits.
You need help.
Yeah.
Where do I put it? On the ground. Who needs a man? Not me, baby. Not me.
You see? Oh my god. That's not oil.
Telling you, man.
Now oil is coming, you see? Yeah.
Yeah, this is how I don't need no man turns into a I don't need no car real quick. Ladies, it is okay to not know it all. And just because you have a girlfriend standing there videoing you and agreeing with your decision, it does not mean it is a good decision. I swear, it's always the ones that say that they don't need no man. They're
She
the
thought any
independent boss
fluid was
ladies.
any
They are the
fluid.
ones that get themselves into the most trouble, which is kind of
Wow.
painful to watch. But the truth is, I think that a lot of these women, they end up dating and finding a good man. And guess what? Their opinion about men all of a sudden changes. But you know what's sad is that we don't see that part. They don't post that part. And then this part is left out there for the internet to see. Men see way too much negativity. So it helps ladies that if you've had a positive experience and you are okay with being vocal about how you want and need your man, post it.
I don't need no man attitude until they screw up and start asking the people they told to leave alone for help. It's not a dominance thing. It's a people helping each other thing. She thinks that she does not need a man in her life because she doesn't know how the world is running. What went wrong? Why grown women know nothing about life. This is another example of a woman trying to prove she can do it all by herself and not trying to rely on a man. Things could have went wrong real quick in this situation, but in the
Trying
end,
to tell you,
she
man.
swallowed her pride and decided to ask a man for help.
Man.
I do agree that these women should start posting the positive effects they're having in their lives when they find good men to date. It might start shifting the perspective a bit and bring each other closer.
Sounds good. Another banger. You guys make sure that you're subscribed, hitting that like button. I had another one here, I believe. Let's go ahead. From Dee. Let me go ahead and try to get this started here. Okay. There we go. All right, let's go.
It's your girl Dee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video where this woman is saying natural hair attracts dusties. So we're gonna get into the video, but before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you like the content. Also share and like the video and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos or go live. So I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
So apparently Shira 7 is in the news for saying that water is wet. She said that natural hair attracts dusties because they figure that you are low maintenance, i.e. cheap. And the girls are in shambles, but Sokis Ray, who is locked and beautiful, has also said that being natural also, men associate her being locked as being cheap as well.
Listen, I think this is the most
They're making stuff up.
thing I've ever heard. What do you guys think about what she said? Now, this Shira 7 lady
Making
is
stuff
food
up.
for Cocoa Puffs, in my opinion. She's giving a lot of these young women the wrong information, telling these women to go out and just get a man with money, don't care about anything else.
Super
And this
crazy.
is leading a lot of these women astray, in my opinion. While she, I think, is married, a lot of these women aren't. And they're not going to have stable, successful relationships with that frame of mind. And so this idea that natural hair attracts dusties and men are looking at natural hair as, oh, you don't keep yourself up, it's ridiculous. And I think this is a narrative that women are telling other women. You
That's
don't
what it
hear
is.
men going around here telling
That's what it
women
is.
saying that, oh, we don't like natural hair. It makes you look like you're
saying
not
that
keeping
because they want to
yourself up.
keep
It's
wearing
just
weaves.
ridiculous. I think if you're not
They're also suffering from alopecia. That's why they're wearing these wigs. They don't want to have to accept reality, so they always find a way to blame a man. They're just saying stuff, man. They want to keep wearing wigs, so they just start making stuff up. They start making stuff up. Here's a real stat, though, and I'm not trying to throw no shade, but 50% of American Black women have the herpes. So that's a real stat. That's 50%. That means like every other woman, you know what I'm saying, that you see. So all this stuff about hair and You're just babbling. Let's talk about the real stuff. What's that? 50% have the herpes? Man, that's crazy, man. Man.
Not getting the outcome that you're getting from men, it has more to do with you and not just your hair. You have so many men out here who saying they like natural hair, they will prefer natural hair and natural women, but there are still women out here who are trying to tell themselves that that is not the case, especially the ones who are out here wearing the wigs and the weaves and stuff. And the men out here who are single dating are saying, hey, we prefer natural hair. Keep your hair up. You know, just be presentable. We don't want the fake nails and all that stuff. And women
not
are
hard.
still trying to tell each other, oh, natural hair will attract dusties and they will attract that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There are women who are out here wearing all the weaves and the wigs and they still attracting the so-called dusties. What do you say about that? It's just another thing to try to deter other women from what they should be really doing. Your hair being natural is the least of your worries. The attitude, the combativeness, all of the other things that men are complaining about are the very same things that women are trying to ignore. You're trying to focus on natural hair. So natural hair is the problem and your attitudes aren't. Why aren't they trying to tell these women that you need to change your mentality, change your attitude, stop thinking independently, but wanting a relationship. Stop thinking that you're the prize and that you control stuff and that you can demand certain things from men when you don't have that ability. Why don't they start telling women the real things that they need to work on and change and stop conjuring up things that just doesn't make any sense? Most men would prefer a cooperative woman who knows how to work with the man and not running around thinking that she don't need one, but she'll take one if he's willing to do what she wants him to do. How about that? How about telling women to change that type of mentality? But they won't do that because that doesn't align with their narrative. Oh, they telling women to go out here and just take him for all he has. Just get him to spend money on you. Get that coin out of him and that's it. You're not telling other women how to really get serious relationships and making them understand what's most important in a relationship. If you want one, no, they out here telling them this BS that's going to keep them single and have these women out here just 60 years old with their BBL sitting around complaining, talk about they will not settle. Like, this is insanity to me. The focus is off, and I think they're doing this on purpose because you don't really want to focus on the things that you should be working on. And that's just that. And so as long as you have other women telling other women this types of stuff, they're going to continue to be lost in the sauce and they're never going to grow and they're never going to be able to reach their full potential and get to the point of knowing exactly what they need to have in order to have stable, successful relationships. That's just what it is. But listen, I'm going to leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. Chime it in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts.
I think she
on
nailed
this
it.
one. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
We talking crazy, man. Crazy. Another one. What's going on over here? Let's see. Let's listen to this one first. Okay. Let's go.
High energetically, remove access. People that vibrate the highest energetically remove access. And when I use the language remove access, what exactly am I talking about? You have been removing people's access to you and your life once you realize they are no longer aligned with you. Let me give you an analogy. You are now an exclusive club, the most exclusive club in New York City. And the majority of people that are coming up to the door to this exclusive club in New York City, which is you, they are not getting in. They're looking at their passes and they're saying access denied. Because you got to be a certain caliber to get into this exclusive club in New York City, which is you. And when I talk about caliber, we're not talking about money. We're talking about mindset and quality of character. You, my friend, you have been removing access to people. You've been removing the access they have to you and your life because you now realize that so many people, like the people, they're not aligned with you anymore. They're not adding any value to your life. They are not pouring into you. There's no reciprocation when it comes to that relationship anymore, because you have been working on you, raising your vibration, stepping into your truest self, stepping into the truth, educating yourself, working on your finances, working on your health, eating better, looking better. You just been working on yourself day in and day out. So people, there are people from your past and people from your present. They no longer align with you. So that card that they have to put into the door to get in, now when they look at it, it says denied access because you initiated that. You see people that vibrate the highest, they're happy, they're fulfilled, they're magnetic, and they're abundant. They're removing access. They're removing access. Okay? You see people that vibrate high energetically, they're very demure about it when they remove people's access from their life, because it's really not a big deal. This is just how you live now. This is just how you live now. When people are no longer aligning with who you really are, you have no problem removing access because you're operating at a different level now. You're not down here anymore. You're not down here anymore. You're up here. So the higher level you go in energy, frequency, and vibration, it's going to be more people's access that you have to remove. It's kind of like removing dead weight off of your ankles. You cannot rise. It's like removing dead weight, period. You cannot rise. You cannot rise if you have dead weight. You have to remove access. See, there's something that we all have to understand. The majority of people are not removing access to people that's in their life. Even if they realize that people are no longer aligning with them, they're still allowing everyone access to them. And they want to understand why they are remaining stagnant. They want to understand why they're always at a low vibration. They always want to understand why they're not feeling good. They always understand why they keep going through the cycles. They always want to understand why they can't get to where they need to go. They always want to understand why their mind is not thinking on the right track.
This is a great message. A little bit long-winded, though. Let's keep it trucking. Oh, wow. That's rough. You know what I mean? This is rough. Let's go ahead and see what he's talking about, though.
Why? Because whores, their eyes, they no longer have a twinkle. If you ever seen a hoe like a certified 304, look in her eyes. Them motherfuckers is dead, like zombie apocalypse.
Eyes are dead,
You
black.
looking at her like, damn, bitch, you malnourished or something? Like, I'm telling you, when you leave this podcast, any of your homegirls that's 304, look in their eyes. It's dead inside. It's almost like she got no soul. It's like the pupil is extra black. Like, hold on, bitch. And then go look at like look at a young woman. A young woman who ain't been through nothing in life. She got a twinkle in her eyes. Different. Like, you can't hide that energy. You could smile, but the energy is gonna radiate.
He ain't lying. Let's see what else we got going on here.
Do we need men?
Oof. I know we don't need you to be that loud. What's going on with you?
Most answered very quickly, no. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, love it. And by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip.
I have Handy Manny at home.
It's crazy, man.
Everything when things go bump
This is what dudes have to hear all day, every day. Y'all just don't know.
in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination. When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
A second. She's really talking about a servant. Let's face it. No, it's a handyman she's talking
No,
about.
it's a handyman. Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have, well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do.
My husband talks about his feelings with his.
Maybe he's gay.
I'm in shock right now. How is this okay? You have a panel of women sitting and be so misandrous against men. It's insane. and you have the audience going ah, ha, 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 to every single fucking word they're saying.
Too much.
And then the only, like, one woman said, like, oh, not all men, we need gay men because they gossip. What? And then the only logical, and I'm using that word very loosely here, woman that has a man that does stuff for her and open up about his feelings, and one of the panel members said maybe he's gay, and some other woman said you have a servant. How is this okay? If this would have been a panel of men, just think about this. If this would have been a panel of men degrading women in this capacity, the show would have been canceled, the men's life would have been ruined, and they would have been stalked by people. Stalked. But this is okay? Why don't we try to close the gap between the sexes instead of fucking extending it? This is bullshit.
Do we need men? Most answered
crazy,
very quickly,
man.
no. But when men were asked a similar question,
That's, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and something else going on here. Yeah. All right, easy now, easy.
Y'all women gonna get mad at me today, so if you can't take constructive criticism, baby, keep on scrolling. Many of you women are not really what you think you're cracked up to be. Like, some of y'all are really not great people to be in relationships with. Y'all know I work with couples every single day, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a list of everything that I have to work through. First things first, quit coming into relationships trying to make a man secure your insecurities. That's your job. If you lack confidence, if you have low self-esteem, if there's still trauma that you're operating in, if you're self-critical, if you're judgmental when it comes to yourself, if you blame yourself, if you're still operating in guilt and trauma and everything else, baby, that's for you to handle, not him. Respect his space. Like, stop becoming so preoccupied and hyper aware of what a man has going on. As soon as you see his mood is off a little bit, you start becoming overwhelming. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me tell you how men are. A lot of men, when they are going through stuff, they may end up withdrawing or retreating because they're trying to figure it out. They're not always upset at you. Their moods are not changing just because of you. People go through things in a way that men are. They don't express themselves as much as we do as women. It's okay. Give that man some space. Oh yeah, the clinginess. Clinginess is cute to an extent, baby, but once you become codependent and you're always getting jealous whenever this person goes out, and you become anxious whenever they're not around you, you start blowing up their phones when they gonna hang out with their friends, that is problematic, and you're gonna push them away. As much as many of you all don't want to believe it, it's absolutely okay for a man to admire another woman. As long as it is a quick look, boom, and he's not staring, and he doesn't have a wandering eye, and he's not impulsive, and he's not a cheater. If he's all of those, baby, why are you with him in the first place? You're ignoring the red flags. You're settling. As long as that man is not window shopping or ordering off the...
All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to we'll have to get back into this another time. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Look, I'll be back on here later, but I gotta handle some things, man. Gotta get something to eat, check on my kid. What do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it in the comment section. I'm your brother, and I love you, and I'm out.